Morning, everyone. My name's Austin. I'm going to talk to you a little bit today about artificial intelligence. So what does the term artificial intelligence mean to you? This is open for discussion.
A thing that thinks like a human, essentially.
Non-human intelligence.
Manufacturers. That's just the same.
Pretty much. When I think of artificial intelligence, I think of iconic characters like Data from Star Trek, C-3PO from Star Wars, R2-D2, BB-8, Jarvis, Friday, and Ultron, or some other Disney characters like Wall-E and Eve. So what makes something intelligent? According to the Merriam-Webster Dictionary, intelligence is defined as the ability to learn or understand or to deal with new or trying situations. According to dictionary.com, intelligence is defined as the capacity for learning, reasoning, understanding, and similar forms of mental activity. Aptitude in grasping truths, relationships, facts, meanings, etc. So I've got a couple pictures here, starting with number 1. Would you consider it intelligent?
Yeah. It's a plant, right? Yeah.
2,
Yeah.
3.
Yeah. Kinda. Ish.
According to the definition, no. The device itself isn't. The programs that it runs, some of them are. For example, like if it's an Apple device, Siri, Android device, the Google Now. What about number 4?
Coral? No.
It's Coral. Yeah. There's little microorganisms that grow and live on this structure, and they're able to adapt to new environments. They're very sensitive, but they can adapt. 5. No. 6.
Yes.
Bacteria. The term and official concept of artificial intelligence was first coined by John McCarthy at the Dartmouth Conference, and I quote, "Every aspect of learning or any other feature of intelligence can in principle be so precisely described that a machine can be made to simulate it. An attempt will be made to find out how to make machines use language, form abstractions and concepts, solve kinds of problems now reserved for humans, and improve upon themselves." And I've got a video here. I'm going to be jumping around on this one because it's a little long. Really slow for some reason.
You are watching Cold Fusion TV.
For the first time in history, we're seeing the successful development and demonstration of general-purpose AI. Its name is AlphaGo, and it was made by Google's DeepMind division. The AlphaGo AI algorithm beat a human at the world's hardest game. This is a historic moment in computer science and artificial intelligence. So what exactly is Google DeepMind? Where did it come from? And what can the company's artificial intelligence actually do? In this video, we'll find out.
A computer program beat a human brain at the ancient Chinese board game of Go. The final score 4-1, a triumph for artificial intelligence equipped with human intuition.
The victory of a program over a human in the ancient board game Go has sparked intrigue and, in some cases, concern. It shows that a machine has approximated human intuition and outsmarted the best human brain in the game. It's something that scientists hadn't expected to happen for at least another decade, and it's a giant leap for artificial intelligence, showing that machines can learn on their own.
I think maybe the game ended. No, I don't think so, because it looks like we're still counting. No, I think he resigned. Wow, I think you're right. Wow. Wow.
This was the
Neural networks to mimic the like all the moves it can make, like previous AIs. AlphaGo used reinforcement learning and neural networks to mimic the learning process of a human brain. Keep in mind that the ancient Chinese game Go has as many more possible moves than chess as there are atoms in the entire universe. So there's no way of just calculating every possible move on the board. That's practically impossible. For this reason, Go is the holy grail of AI, and learning to do such a task from scratch is a huge feat. Further to this, DeepMind's creators say that the algorithm can learn many more things without alteration or guidance. In other words, the AI is general purpose.
We always used to talk about, well, if we could eventually crack Go and have a program that could beat the world champion, then we must have invented some generic, general purpose algorithm. So maybe we're on the cusp of all of them. If you ask a great Go player why they play a particular move, sometimes they'll just tell you it felt right. So one way to think of it is that Go is a much more intuitive game, whereas chess is a much more logic-based game.
So what is DeepMind? Google DeepMind is a British artificial intelligence company that was founded in September of 2010 as DeepMind Technologies. It was renamed when it was acquired by Google in 2014 for $500 million. Interestingly enough, this was just after Facebook had just finished negotiations with them in 2013. And another fun fact, Elon Musk is actually an investor in the company, just to keep an eye on them, of course. DeepMind received the Company of the Year award by the Cambridge Computer Laboratory in 2014. So where did DeepMind come from? DeepMind was first a startup co-founded by Demis Hassabis in 2010. Demis was a child genius of sorts, and went from being a chess prodigy and reaching master level at age 13 onto becoming the lead programmer of Lionhead Studios for groundbreaking games such as Black and White. After this, he went on to start his own gaming studio before leaving to complete some extra studies at the University College of London. This is where he would meet the future co-founders of DeepMind in 2010. So what is the goal of DeepMind Technologies? According to their website, their goal is to solve The AI from DeepMind uses a technique called deep reinforcement learning, which makes it very different from other AIs, such as IBM's Watson or the primitive Siri or Google Now. The AIs just mentioned were only developed for a predefined purpose and only function within their scope. DeepMind claims that their system is not pre-programmed and it learns from experience using only raw pixels as data input.
So the way we start off training AlphaGo is by showing it 100,000 games that strong amateurs have played that we've downloaded from the internet. And we first initially get AlphaGo to mimic the human player. But of course, ultimately, we would like AlphaGo to be stronger than human amateurs and compete with the top professionals. So the way we do that is, after we take that first version that's learned to mimic human play, we then allow it to play itself 30 million times on our servers. And using reinforcement learning, the system learns to improve itself incrementally through avoiding its errors and increasing and improving its win rate against older versions of itself. And after all these games, then you end up with a new version that can beat the old version, the original version, around 80-90% of the time.
Technically, the reinforcement that DeepMind uses is model-free, meaning that it doesn't need a structure or set of rules to learn. According to MIT's take on the Google algorithm, the neural network, in theory, should be able to access an external memory in a manner that mimics the short-term memory of the human brain. In a way, it almost seems like our brain's design might be the most efficient way for the creation of local intelligence. Who would have guessed? So that's all good. What about this general purpose term? What does that actually mean? Well, because the machine learns from raw experience and data, it can perform well across a wide variety of tasks, straight out of the box. Okay, so that's enough talk. Let's watch the system in action, learning how to play Breakout. And remember, the machine didn't have any foreknowledge as to what task it was going to complete. It had to figure out.
This is the same artificial intelligence that won against the champion on it's AlphaGo, but it's the background to AlphaGo, Google's DeepMind.
Out how to do everything only from its own experience.
Is the machine before training. So this is literally the first time the machine has ever seen this data stream, and it's controlling the green rocket here, and you can see it's losing its 3 lives immediately. So it's basically terrible at the game, as you would expect. Now after training, this is like overnight, we leave it playing the game overnight on a normal computer, so for about 8 hours. You come back in the morning, and now it's superhuman level. So now the machine can play Space Invaders better than any human can. It's modeled the world, the game world, so well, it knows where the Space Invaders will be ahead of time. So as the Space Invaders speed up, when you get less of them on the screen, it does the final shot is a kind of predictive shot of where the final Space Invader will be in a few seconds.
But the cool thing is, after understanding how to play a few games, it will be able to transfer this knowledge and understanding across more games. At the moment, DeepMind is currently playing games from the 1970s and 80s, but work is currently being done on more complex 3D games, such as Doom, which appeared in the early 90s.
This one's shorter. Just to get an understanding of what it actually takes to play the game Go. Most people think it's like checkers or chess. It's completely not. It's based on intuition almost completely alone. You get better at it the more you play, of course, but it takes a while to get the hang of for a human. So the fact that a artificial intelligence actually mastered it is a great feat.
Google has created artificial intelligence that has seemingly mastered the game Go 10 years earlier than predicted. Sure, computers have mastered games many times before: chess, checkers, Monopoly, and even Clue. These games, however, are based on brute force search, basically a quick analysis of all options. The ancient Chinese game of Go isn't so simplistic, however. Go is played on a grid of 19 horizontal by 19 vertical lines. The players place white or black stones along these lines to try to surround their opponent's pieces. Once a stone is placed, it can't be moved, and surrounding an opponent's piece captures their stone. This game leaves open millions of possible outcomes. Programming a computer to understand nearly infinite possibilities has proven challenging. In order to create AlphaGo, scientists narrowed the options using neural networks. AlphaGo uses 2 of these neural networks, a policy network and a value network. The policy network lets the computer consider a handful of promising moves, while the value network narrows the search depth, so the computer is only thinking about 20 moves ahead instead of hundreds. Essentially, it's a more human way of thinking. This sort of ability to one-up humans at a game requiring a lot of intuition and true skill shows we're getting closer to human-like AI.
So we'll just go on to the next one. Okay. So I guess that concludes my presentation. I was going to show you a little bit more about how the game is played, so you can get a better idea of what AlphaGo actually had to do, but it's not. So thank you for your time. Do you have any questions?